Okay, we are in the final phase of the home buying process. We are in phase 3, which is the closing phase. So we're going to start week 1 out talking about home inspection reports and repairs. So it's very important to understand that the home inspection report is strictly for the buyer. It is not for the seller. So home buyers often think that they're going to get the home inspection report back. It's like a report card that you take to the seller and say, look, seller, these are all of the items that's wrong with this house. You need to fix it or else. So I want to help you understand what that process is actually like. When you get your inspection report back, it is strictly for your knowledge as a buyer. It is to let you as a buyer know to become aware of all of the issues that are deficient in the home. It is not a report card for the seller and a demand list for the seller to fix every item on the inspection report. It's very important to understand that as a buyer. Now, you do want to negotiate repairs with the seller. You want to try to get the seller to cooperate with you and hopefully fix as many things as possible on the list. The best way to do that is to start with the most serious items that are on the list and request that the seller repair those items. If the seller is not willing to repair those items, then your next strategy would be to ask for a seller contribution. You want to ask the seller to contribute financially to help you as the buyer to cover those costs of the repairs. If you communicate this in a very cooperative manner, you're likely to get the seller to take care of those items. I always suggest indicating the harm it could cause to the potential new home buyers. So for example, if something is marked on the inspection report as deficient because of a safety issue, I communicate that to the seller and the seller's agent to let them know this is a safety concern and my buyers don't feel comfortable moving forward on this home due to it being a safety concern. That is likely more motivating to get the seller to want to take care of that issue than simply going to the seller and demanding that you fix this item or else. So that's a strategy that you can apply. Start with the most serious items that are on the inspection report, depending on how thick the inspection report is. If you have an inspection report that comes back where there are only a few items that are wrong, in that case, you can ask for those items to be repaired and see how the seller responds. If your inspection report comes back pretty hefty with lots and lots of items that are deficient on the report, then you want to start with the most serious items first and get the seller to take care of those items versus asking the seller to repair every single thing on the list. And the seller can handle repairs in a multitude of ways. So again, the first way they can handle the repairs is they can choose to repair the repairs. They can choose to take care of the repairs on their own by hiring contractors to take care of the repairs. Those repairs need to be completed before you close. They can choose to give the buyer a credit, which is also a contribution for those repairs. So that is how the seller can help you take care of the repairs. Or the third option is the seller may be willing to reduce the price of the home in order to swap out for their need to take care of repairs. A reason to consider that a seller may not be willing to take care of repairs out of pocket on their own. Maybe you just want the item fixed before you even move into the house. You don't want to worry about having to do that on your own. Sometimes the seller may not be living in the home. They may not even be in town to be able to take care of those repairs. They may not have the time to call contractors out there. That may be something that is too much more to add to their personal to-do list. So it's sometimes easier for the seller to even give a contribution or just take some reduce the asking price so that you can get those repairs done on your own, and that way it alleviates them from being totally responsible for making sure that that is repaired before closing day. So those are some tips on how to handle the inspection, how to review the inspection. You want to review the inspection openly, but you also want to be reasonable as you look over the inspection report. You want to have an understanding that the seller is willing to work with you, but they are not required to fix everything on the inspection report. So if you have a good understanding of that, you're going to be able to have a very cooperative relationship with most of the sellers that you work with. So that's it for the home inspection and repairs. We're going to be moving on to week 2.